Hi everyone, good morning and welcome back to my channel. My name remains Tinna Kash. Yes, so today I'm going to be sharing with us some of the reasons why your visa application might be denied. Yeah, there are multiple reasons why a visa officer might decide to refuse you visa into Canada. So I'm going to just be sharing with us some of the points which I've outlined or which I've seen over time that makes the visa officer to refuse you entry into Canada. So let's begin. Okay, and the number one reason, not the number one literally, but the first reason on my list of reasons is your tie back home. Yes, your tie back to Nigeria or to your home country is very important. And if you're unable to prove to the visa officer that you have a strong tie back home, something that will literally take you back home, that you can't let go, then you have high chances for your visa to be refused. Yes, some of the pointers to tie back home is your family, your job. Are you married? Do you have businesses? Do you have investments in your home country that requires your attention that you will go back home to meet? If not, if you cannot sufficiently prove this to the visa officer, the visa officer might just say, oh, you actually do not have anything left in your home country to go back to. So there's a possibility that when you enter Canada, you are likely not to want to go back to your home country because you have nothing that requires your attention back home. So, yeah, take note when you're applying for your visa. Try as much as possible to prove sufficient tie back home. Yes. Now, my number 2 point will be your strong tie in Canada. Yes. If you have a strong tie in Canada, you're likely to be refused visa. You heard me right. Okay. The strong tie in Canada means, let me cite an example. You have siblings. Most of your siblings are in Canada or outside of your home country. And you still have some siblings in Canada. And you want to apply to come visit in Canada. You have a high chances of being denied your visa. Reason is that all the family bonds, the family ties you have, they are now out of your countries. They are all in Canada or even in neighboring countries. So there's nothing for you back home. All your families are here. So let's say you have 5 siblings and 3 of them are in Canada and you're applying to come. The visa officer might use this as a basis to refuse you. Now, disclaimer, this is not to say there are no people that have gotten visa approval irrespective of such situation. But just note that these people also have strong sufficient evidences they have to add to the application to prove to the visa officer that they are going to definitely go back home. Yes. Okay. Now, the third point I'm going to give is also your financial status. So what is your financial status? Are you employed? Do you have business you're running? And someone that does not have a job, you're not employed, you don't have your business, and you can't just come and say you have a business. Is your business registered? So you can't prove to the visa officer that the money you claim to have, there are evidences of how you got this money. Like, are you getting salaries, or do you have business income that you're earning? So another point also with the financial status is, let's assume you're coming to Canada as a tourist and the cost of your tourism is going to be like, hypothetically, 5 million naira, and the old proof of fund in your account is also 5 million. It is literally like you're spending your entire life savings to come for tourism. So the visa officer are like, oh, if this person comes here for tourism, this person will go back home being penniless. So you should invest your money. So try as much as possible to have sufficient funds in your accounts when you want to apply to visit Canada. Okay, and another point I'm going to use also is your length of stay. Yes. So when it comes to your length of stay, should you have proven to the visa officer that you are engaged back home or you're working in a paid employment and you're applying to come to Canada for 6 months? What are the evidences that your employer is actually allowing you to go for 6 months? Are you absconding from work? So try as much as possible and look at your application thoroughly. That's what I tell people. Look at your application as though if you were the one someone submitted the application to. How thorough will you review this? How will you put one or two together? If you can convince yourself that this makes sense, then that's if you're smart anyway, that it makes sense, then it will make sense to the visa officer. And I'm assuming you're working and you have a 1 month leave. And you got a reference letter from your employer that you're going on a 1 month leave. Now you're applying for your visa and you're requesting for a 6 month leave. It doesn't make sense. A 6 month visa, it doesn't make sense. Secondly, you're saying you're coming for tourism and you have to prove in your tourism letter, there's a letter you have to attach on the places you want to visit, what you'll be doing in this period you're going to be visiting. And you know, this also costs money, your accommodation and everything. And everything, maybe your Airbnb you've booked or your hotel booking is just for 2 weeks and everything. But in your application, you're requesting for 6 months. Just ensure that you cross all your T's and you dot all your I's. Yes. Okay. Another point I'm going to be giving also is on your host status in Canada. That is also for people that have someone in Canada that is inviting them. So if someone is inviting you, kindly clarify that the person actually have a legal stay in Canada to be able to invite you. I want to believe that nobody will invite you if they are not certain about their legal stay in Canada. Yes. So the documentation your host has also is very important. And irrespective of your documentation, be it work permit, study permit, you can invite people to Canada. And be it permanent resident citizen, you can invite people to Canada. But just ensure that your host have a legal stay in Canada before inviting you to Canada. Yes. Another point I'm going to give, yes, is your purpose of visit. What is your purpose of visit? Yes, if you're applying to come to Canada to attend conference, and you have to be able to prove what is the benefit of this conference to the job you're currently doing in your home country. You cannot be attending conference on, let me say, financial inclusion and you're working as a customer care. So let it has correlation with what you're working on. And what is the benefit? You have to also write the benefit of this conference should you return back home. How is going to impact your work, how is going to improve your work. So you have to you have to explain to them beyond reasonable doubt that this is going to be beneficial to what you're currently doing in your home country. Also, when you're saying you're coming for tourists, as you're coming for tourism, and as a tourist you apply to come during winter. Winter is fast coming right now, and that you're coming as a tourist. I'm not saying there are no tourist attraction center in Canada at this point, but hey, it doesn't really correlate. It's okay if you put in your visa during this period. We are in November right now, and towards December, we know that from November, even some provinces already have winter, serious winter already. So you're coming as a tourist. It's okay if you put in your application now, but not stating that that is when you want to arrive Canada as a tourist, because there is really no much tourist attraction center during the winter period. So except maybe you want to do an indoor, yeah, there's that possibility. But what I'm just trying to emphasize is ensure that you cross your T's and dot your I. It is very important. And the last I'm going to be saying is not disclosing your past visa refusal. Yes, not disclosing your past visa refusal. Okay, for Canada, should they get you that you had prior visa refusal and you did not disclose, be certain, be rest assured, 5 years ban. Canada is just going to ban you straight up. 5 years ban. So it is very important to disclose your visa refusal you've had in the past. God help you, your visa refusal is even US, that they share information like no before. 5 years. And it's, don't take it lightly, because you never can say it is Canada. I believe Canada has never had to refuse people because they had prior visa refusal. You need to provide proof to them, provide evidences that you're capable of this trip you're claiming to want to come to, and you have the financial capability. You also have a strong tie back home, that you're going to eventually go back after your visit to Canada. Should you have been denied visa in the past, as little as stating that yes, I was denied US visa in the past, reason that I did not meet the eligibility requirement, is sufficient, is more than sufficient. I've had multiple people that I supported when they're applying to tell them how to go about it, and yes, they still got their approval. So not disclosing it is going to mar you more than it will help you. So it is very important you research before putting in your application. Know that there are reasons where a visa officer will deny you. Know these reasons and try and improve your documentation ahead of your submission of your visa. And I can guarantee you that should you prove beyond reasonable doubt all these reasons and prove to the visa officer that yes, oh, you are so committed back home, you're going to eventually leave Canada after your visit, definitely I want to believe that no visa officer is going to refuse you visa, because these are the pointers in which visas are refused. There are many more other points, but I'm just going to be sharing this with us at this point in time. Next time I'm going to respond to other pointers I will come up with. Yes, thank you so much for watching this far. Don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe to this channel, so I'll be encouraged to put in more videos out there. Thank you. Have a good day ahead.